In today's video, I'm going to give you the grand tour of one of the most popular streets in all of Mobile. And this is a street you may not have heard about, but I'll tell you, all the locals, they know everything about this street. And we're going to start at one of the best, not one of, the best chicken finger place in all of Mobile. I'm parked in the parking lot known as Foosackly's. So if you come here and take a tour, you're going to have to give Foosackly's a shot. I think you'll absolutely love it. And we're going to start on the tour coming right up. Now, as we pull out of the parking lot, I'll tell you a little bit about this video and what we're going to do. So my name's Jeff Jones with Keller Williams, right here in the city of Mobile. Lived here my whole life, and a lot of folks ask me, you know, they're not interested in specific houses. What they want to know is they want to know what the area is like. So when people come in town, they want to know the details, they want the grand tour, whatever it is. I like to tell them that this street, where we're going to, this street is like a cut through, because in Mobile you've got Airport Boulevard, you've got Cottage Hill Road, but if traffic's really bad, well, a lot of people will take a side street and they'll get on this street. And well, I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. This street is called Grelot Road, and if you ask Siri to say it, she always messes it up and always says Grelot. Well, it's definitely not Grelot, but it is called Grelot. And so Grelot Road starts at University Boulevard, which is where we are right now. And University Boulevard, as we connect with Grelot, this is what I like to call suburbia. I'm talking, there are so many neighborhoods on Grelot Road, and so we're going to take a dive into those. And if you'll look straight ahead, you'll see the sign that says Grelot. And we make a right onto University, and we are heading out west in West Mobile. If you look around, you're going to see, yep, just like everybody says, the mature oak trees are absolutely everywhere. You've got an apartment complex on the right, and I don't know the age on that, maybe about 20 years or so, maybe somewhere around there. And then if you look to the left, you'll see a absolutely beautiful building. This is the West Regional Mobile Public Library. I've spent a lot of time there. They've got children's programs, and it's really a great place to visit if you live out in this area and you want some great books. So, and we come up to this light. This is where two sections you can choose from. We're going to take you on the right. This is Regency, and then over to the left, you've got Regency Oaks. If we turn to the right, we go into Regency. You will see houses that are going to range from around 250 to the upper threes. And most of these were built in the 70s, 80s. A lot of them, they do have original windows, which are going to be a wood frame window, which is not always the greatest. And so, but you're going to find that some houses in this neighborhood do have, they do have aluminum wiring, which, you know, you just need to talk with your home inspector about that. But most of the houses in this neighborhood are going to be at least 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a lot of 4 bedrooms. I'm going to turn around down here, but I'll show you a lot of 2 stories, decent amount of pools in this neighborhood. And these houses are older, so you're not going to have these huge primary suites. You're not going to have, you know, you're not going to have, I'm trying to think of what would, the bathrooms may be a little more dated. But the good news is you're in the city of Mobile. So you've got free garbage, and you've got city sewer and city water. All that is included. You see the cans that are out by the street. That's a sign that today was garbage day in the city of Mobile. Now, as we leave the neighborhood, we're going to leave Regency, and we're going into Regency Oaks. And this neighborhood, a little more expensive, and the homes, well, they're a little larger, maybe a little fancier. But again, these were built in the 70s and 80s. And, but this is a very, very nice neighborhood in Mobile when it comes to, you know, sidewalks. You've got street lights. Some of these houses are 3,500 up to 4,500 square feet. I'm going to show you a street that is very, very popular in Regency Oaks. I've sold 1, 2, 3, is it 3 or either 3 or 4 houses here. And the people who live here, they love these houses, but the main thing they keep talking about is the location. This location has everything. I will show you. These are some of the houses that you think of when you think of these large estate homes in the city of Mobile. Well, you can get that at Regency Oaks. Check this out. Look over to the right. Looks like a hotel. And these are going to be in the 450 to probably maybe 575, close to 600 range. And I know one of these houses, I helped coordinate getting a roof replaced, and the roof was about $30,000. And that's a good fortified roof, architectural shingles. So that's not something you want to buy every day, but it was part of the transaction because the roof was pretty rough. And since moving in, the seller, or the buyers, excuse me, since moving in, they've changed out the windows, they've made some updates, and so when it comes their time to sell the house again, they'll have that much more value built into that home for the next buyer. Now, as we get back on Grelot, one of the things I want to talk about is you're going to notice that there are sidewalks on Grelot, and that is, we're going to give a shout out to the mayor, Sandy Stimson. He's really worked hard in getting some things done around the city to make it more walkable. That's one of the complaints we've had, is that Mobile is not very walkable. Well, this is going to give you a lot of walkability. Of course, starting at University on Grelot, and it goes for a pretty long while. Now, as we continue, we're going to feature one of the things that makes Mobile special. If you look over to the left, you will see there are storage facilities everywhere. Yep, I say that with deep sarcasm. Mobile has had so many storage centers, units. I mean, they're just all over the place. Yep, so that's the big joke I've shared many times in videos before. Lots of storage units, lots of nail salons, Dollar Generals, Mexican restaurants. We got you covered. We're crossing over, this is Knollwood to the west, to the south, and that's a pretty major street in Mobile also. We're going to continue forward. If you look to the right, there's Carmel condominiums, and there are very few condos that are for sale in Mobile, but that's one of them. And then you look to the left, this is an apartment complex called Ashford Place. And then it's right next to a massive church in Mobile called Christ United Methodist Church. It's very, very large. And I'm going to drop in to this street to share with you one of the larger neighborhoods called MacArthur Place. Not large as far as the number of houses, but large in terms of the house size. So we're going to just make one quick turn down here on MacArthur Place Court, and wow, some of these houses are really amazing. And you'll find that the bulk of these houses, yes, they are brick, but you will see some stucco. And you have to be careful with stucco. You know, there are a lot of termite companies or termite bond companies that will not cover a house if it has the majority stucco. And that's a topic for a whole different video, but that's something to keep in mind. And so you definitely want to have a termite bond if you move to the city of Mobile, and almost every transaction that I do has one, so no worries there, we'll get you covered. And we're going to head back to Grelot and get back on the road. The good news is we're not at 5 o'clock traffic. So normally Grelot can be backed up, even this far in front of Christ United Methodist, it can be backed up with traffic as you are approaching Hillcrest Road. Now, as you look to the right, what do we have for you but another storage unit? Yep, more storage units. And then look to the left, and what do we have here? Oh, I forgot, we have a plethora of car washes as well. We've got Ronnie's Car Wash, and if you'll look just past that, yes folks, I've got it for you, that's another storage unit. You guessed it. If you look to the right, you've got a shopping center with a Winn-Dixie, and Winn-Dixie was just bought out by Aldi. So I'm not quite sure whether they'll maintain the name of Winn-Dixie or whether Aldi's going to come in and change things. But we've got plenty of grocery stores in Mobile. And look to the left, you'll see this is a busy intersection. This is a CVS pharmacy, and this is Hillcrest Road. And it's busy. Look to the right, you'll see a Starbucks. Anytime you see a Starbucks, well, you know that that is a busy place. Starbucks, McDonald's, so much in this area. And if you'll continue looking to the right, what do we have, folks? Yes, one more storage center. I think that's it for a while. And we have more apartments over to the left. But again, this is that thoroughfare. If you don't want to take Cottage Hill and you don't want to take Airport, well, you can take Grelot. The traffic is not quite so bad. It'll get you through there a little bit faster. Now, I'm going to make a quick detour to show you something that I get asked a lot of questions about: retirement-specific properties. And so we're going to turn in off of Grelot to a property called Summerby. Now, in this little community, this area, you do have some traditional apartments, but then you also are going to have the Summerby property. And this has multiple aspects to it. You've got houses that you can purchase there in the $350 to $399 range. And I believe the HOA is around $350 a month, but that includes a lot of services, and of course there's someone on call to help if you've fallen and can't get up. And that's going to be available through Summerby. And you purchase the home, but then look over to the left, you've got the apartments. This shows you there are a couple different complexes here. But then within the Summerby community, you've got more of, I guess, different aspects of care. So you've got long-term care, you've got assisted living. All of those different aspects are on this property. And Summerby properties do not come up very often. And people ask me about gated neighborhoods in Mobile. Very, very few neighborhoods in the city of Mobile are gated. I don't know why. But also, there are very few HOAs that are expensive. The average HOA in Mobile is around $350 a year, believe it or not. Now look to the right, you'll see the gates into Summerby. And to the right, that is the property that you can purchase. And then, of course, continuing to the right, you'll see the multi-story units. Those are more assisted living. I've actually got a good friend that lives there, and she loves it. They have the community time and the cafeteria, go out, eat down there and play games with the different residents. And then, so yeah, but this area is growing. And then we've got a new development. D.R. Horton is doing a lot in Mobile. And if you'll see over to the right, this is Hawkins Manor, which is a new neighborhood they're developing. And this whole area used to be nothing but trees, and they came in and clear cut it. And then they're getting ready to build it. And so we'll get back on Cody Road, and Cody will connect us back to Grelot in just a second. I'm actually going to take a detour. Now we're on Cody Road and we're getting back to Grelot Road, but we're going to take a detour into a neighborhood called Smithfield. And Smithfield was all the rage in the 80s in Mobile. I just remember personally thinking, oh man, Smithfield is amazing. You look straight ahead, you'll see the neighborhood sign. And this is an area, most of the houses were built maybe early 80s. And this is where you started to get a little more expression with houses. Most of these were different builders, certainly not built by a mass builder. So a lot of these houses have a lot of character. You started to get more of the Creole cottage with the dormers sticking out of the top, and different houses here. You've got siding, you've got brick. I don't see a lot of stucco here, but a lot of pine trees, some oak trees, and these are going to be in that 280-ish to 320, 350, somewhere around there. That's probably a good estimate. And so this area is very popular. So you live in Smithfield, and then it connects with another neighborhood if you keep going. And we'll get back on Grelot and continue the journey, showing you more of what Mobile has to offer when it comes to the suburbs. So as we get back on Grelot, I'm not going to turn into the neighborhood, but I'll show you over to the left. This neighborhood's a little bit more expensive than Smithfield. You're looking at, $350 to the, low fours. You've got Westchester Place. And then as we go down here, even more expensive, you've got Brockton Place. These houses, these neighborhoods, there are so many, just thousands and thousands of families live here. And so, a lot of these neighborhoods have got the brick walls at the front entrance, you know, so a lot of money has gone into that. And yes, they do have an HOA, but don't let that scare you. I was driving with a family last week, and they were scared about HOAs because of what that meant. But I had to explain to them, hey, you know what? Things are a little bit different in Mobile. Let me turn into Stonehedge, one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in all of Mobile, as you can see. But let me wrap up the comment about the HOA. I would venture to say the HOA in Stonehedge, I don't know exactly, but it's probably in the 500 to 700 for the year. They're just very reasonable compared with so many other places around the country. So if you've got a lot of anxiety about HOAs, I will tell you they're not perfect in Mobile, but they're a lot less restrictive and a lot less restrictions than so many other places around the country. So as we drive through here, I'm going to show you that not only does Stonehedge have houses that are around 20 years old, but they also have some brand new construction. And I'm going to show you some of those because they are truly incredible. Definitely over $1 million. And I'm going to take you down a couple of these courts to show you new construction and some of the really massive properties that are here. And as far as school systems, you know, these are going to be in pretty highly rated school systems out in West Mobile. And of course, they're private schools, probably within 15 minutes, maybe 15 minutes of here as well. And these houses are going to be, I mean, some of them are, you know, 3,500 square feet, 4,500, 55. I mean, I'm sure there's some that are, you know, over 6,000. And then there's one that was for sale recently, and I want to say it was around $1 million. So they're really nice properties. Got this one on the right here. It's not quite finished. Looks like they're wrapping up details on the exterior. Really nice property. And I'll continue to show you one that is just, it's breathtaking. You will not believe this when we round the corner. Wow. Yep, you didn't realize Mobile had its own Beverly Hills? Right here in West Mobile. And we'll head back to Grelot Road to show you some houses that are a lot less expensive. But you know, the one common theme through all of these houses, even houses like this, the property tax is still super low. So that's one of the advantages of living in Mobile: low property tax and low cost of living. And as we get back on Grelot, we're going to pass another neighborhood that's pretty popular called Cameron Place. And these houses are going to be in the probably 300 to 450 range. So there are a lot of stucco houses in there, a lot of brick houses. We're going to get in another lane so we can cross over Schillinger. Now, I've got another video where I give the full tour of Schillinger, and it's got pretty much everything you can imagine. It's got restaurants, it's got movie theaters, it's got, you know, Lowe's, Home Depot, you name it. It's got everything you could need. And so Schillinger is a very, very busy street. Now, this is Grelot. We're crossing over Schillinger. And if you'll take the camera to the right, you'll see that this will give us the view of Schillinger coming from Airport Boulevard. Nothing fancy to look at, just some grass that needs to be cut. Now, crossing over Leroy Stevens, and just south of this, you're going to see the absolute best seafood place in West Mobile called Craver's, and it is really something. But now we are coming up on a traffic circle, and ever since they added this traffic circle, it has made things a lot easier. But this traffic circle is like a hub, and it's basically the end of Grelot. But I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to take you to a new development that's happening in Mobile, and it's going to be pretty incredible. So we're going to take this traffic circle. We're going to pass over Dawes Road on the right, and we're going to take what's called Air Terminal Drive. Okay. Now, Air Terminal, if you look to the left, you'll see one neighborhood. That's D.R. Horton neighborhood that just popped up. I mean, and they sold all those houses very quickly. And the reason they did is because, well, there's a lot of need for housing out here in West Mobile. And if you look to the left, you'll see the entrance to that neighborhood. It's called Chesapeake. And then you continue and you've got, you know, some land out here. There's still room for development. But then you'll see another D.R. Horton neighborhood down here on the left. And like I mentioned, they just come in and, man, they clear cut and they put up houses quickly because Mobile has a strong need for property. But the reason I wanted to come on this path is to show you that this road takes you right to the airport in West Mobile that is soon to be no more, because it's moving down to the old Brookley complex, and we're going to have an international airport, and it's going to be incredible, and I've talked about it a lot. All right, we look to the left. That is 3 Dean Way, and that is a little bit less expensive. Those are around maybe, I want to say around 200 to around 275-ish, somewhere around there. And that's going to give you another alternative for housing that's not so expensive. But here we are, straight ahead. You'll see the sign for the Mobile Regional Airport. It's been here for a while, and I lived about 6 minutes away from here for a very long time, and I loved it. But I moved a little closer in with the city, and now I'm gonna love the other location, which will be great as well. Hey, before we wrap up, I just want to say thank you for watching this. You know, if you want a little more, of course, I've got a lot of different videos that you can check out. They're about all things related to Mobile. But if you'll click the link below, you can actually get a free, absolutely free relocation guide that will help answer a lot of your questions about the city of Mobile. And also, if you like listening to podcasts, we have a podcast called Living in Mobile. It's all about things related to Mobile, people who have a story that they'd like to share. And also, the other thing I want to talk about is that I've got a website. It's livinginmobile.com, and if you've got questions, if you want to connect with vendors, if you want to read blog posts, whatever, if you want to connect with me, if you've got questions, and if you want me to help you with the house shopping process, my assistant Avery and I would love to help you with all of that. So just say the word, shoot me a text message, phone call, anything you want to do. I would love to help. And you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to headed back into the city, and I'm going to stop by Yellowhammer Coffee, which is another great place you have to see, to get a little afternoon treat. And then, well, it's back to the next video.